Welcome to Celebrity Scoop, your source for the most intriguing stories from the world of fame and notoriety. If you haven't done so already, do subscribe to our channel. Today, we delve into the complex world of Dan Wootton, a figure notorious for his critical stance on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. But recently, Wootton has found himself under scrutiny, facing allegations of deception and manipulation. Now it seems the tables have turned as the critic becomes the criticised. Dan Wootton, a man who made a career out of criticising others, most notably Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. He's the one who often roars from the front pages, painting Harry and Meghan in less than flattering colours. His words, sharp as arrows, have time and again targeted the couple, making headlines and stirring the pot of royal watchers worldwide. Wootton's criticisms were never subtle. He dubbed Harry and Meghan as manipulative, a term he used with an air of absolute certainty. He launched an onslaught on Meghan's character, dissecting her actions and motives with a surgeon's precision. He painted Prince Harry as a traitor to the crown, a deserter leaving his royal duties for a life across the pond. His tone, always biting, always harsh, seemed to relish in his role as the critic of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. His language was potent, his criticisms harsh. Without fail, he would demand integrity and decency from the couple. He berated Meghan for penning a children's book, and criticised Harry for standing up for his wife and children. Wootton, it seemed, had set up a high moral pedestal from which he took aim at the couple. But today, the tables have turned. The man who made a career out of demanding integrity and decency from others is now at the centre of a scandal himself. Serious allegations have been levelled against him, of catfishing a former colleague, of pretending to be someone he's not, of trickery and manipulation. This isn't a tabloid rumour, but a real legal case, and so we ask, where is the integrity now, Dan? What happened to the high moral ground? The same man who ranted day and night about decency in the royal family is now under the microscope. Yet the man who so passionately demands integrity and decency from others is now facing some serious allegations himself. The accusations against Wootton are both serious and deeply disturbing. As we delve into the details, it's important to remember that these are not frivolous claims. These are charges being brought forth in the High Court, the highest court of the land, where the truth is sought with tenacity and justice is the ultimate goal. These allegations revolve around an act of deceit that is as shocking as it is unsettling. The claim is that Wootton, under a false identity, manipulated a former colleague into sharing explicit images. This wasn't a mere prank or a harmless game. It was a calculated act, a predatory behaviour that preyed on trust and goodwill. Picture this: a man who has built a career on calling out perceived missteps, who has proclaimed himself the arbiter of morality and integrity, now stands accused of such a grave violation. A violation that goes beyond the rules of decency and respect. It trespasses the very boundaries of human dignity and trust. The nature of these accusations is alarming, to say the least. But what's even more striking are the implications. If these allegations hold up in court, it doesn't just tarnish Wootton's reputation. It shatters the facade of righteousness he has carefully built over the years. It exposes a hypocrisy that is as jarring as it is disappointing. This isn't just about one man's fall from grace. This is a stark reminder that those who sit in judgment of others are often the ones with the most to hide. This is a wake-up call to scrutinise not just the words, but the actions of those who claim moral superiority. And so, as we continue to watch this drama unfold, we must remember that the truth always comes out. The mirror of justice reflects both the good and the bad, the virtuous and the villainous, and no amount of self-proclaimed righteousness can hide the truth when it decides to reveal itself. These allegations paint a very different picture of the man who has been so quick to judge others. Isn't it ironic that the man who tirelessly judged Harry and Meghan's actions now faces scrutiny for his own? The scales of judgment are tipping, and it's time we took a closer look at Dan Wootton, the man who has been so keen on holding others to account. Wootton, a figure who has been relentless in his criticism of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, finds himself in the hot seat. The same seat he's placed others in, time and time again. The man who, without a second thought, labelled Meghan as manipulative and Harry as a traitor to the crown, now stands accused of manipulation and deceit. The irony is palpable, and it's impossible to ignore. The allegations against Wootton are serious. He is accused of catfishing a former colleague, pretending to be a woman, and tricking this individual into sharing explicit photos. These are not mere whispers in the wind, but the basis of a real legal case. The same man who preached about integrity and decency is now called into question for a lack of both. In his pursuit of sensationalism, Wootton has been quick to cast stones at Harry and Meghan for simply seeking a life of authenticity and freedom. He's criticised Meghan's ventures into children's literature and condemned Harry for shielding his family from the intense and often intrusive media spotlight. Yet, when it comes to his own actions, Wootton seems to have forgotten the standards he so fervently applies to others. Where is the outrage, Dan? Where are the front-page spreads dissecting your behaviour? It's easy to pick apart others from the comfort of a position of perceived power, but when the tables turn, the silence is deafening. The spotlight he so eagerly shone on Harry and Meghan is now illuminating his own actions. Wootton's hypocrisy is glaringly apparent, and it's time he faced the same scrutiny he has so readily dished out to others. It seems that Wootton's own mask is slipping. It's time for the spotlight to turn on Dan Wootton. The revelations have sent shockwaves through the public sphere, prompting many to question Wootton's credibility and integrity. The man who built a career scrutinizing others is now under the microscope himself. The public's reaction to these allegations has been one of surprise and disbelief. Many are asking, how could the man who so fervently championed decency and integrity be implicated in such a scandal? However, it's not just the public's opinion that's at stake here. Wootton's career hangs in the balance. As a journalist, credibility is everything. These allegations have the potential to tarnish his reputation and cast a shadow over his past work. Could this be the end of his reign as a prominent media figure? Only time will tell. But it's not just about Wootton. This situation also presents a valuable opportunity for a societal shift in the way we perceive and treat public figures. For too long, celebrities and royals have been the targets of relentless scrutiny and criticism. This incident serves as a stark reminder that everyone, regardless of their status, is human and fallible. It's a wake-up call that calls for a more empathetic, respectful approach to public commentary. As the spotlight shifts from Harry and Meghan to Wootton, we find ourselves at a crossroads. Will we continue to tolerate the vilification of individuals in the public eye, or will we demand a more balanced, respectful discourse? This could be a turning point in the narrative, a chance for us to redefine the rules of engagement. Moving forward, it's crucial that we all keep a close eye on how this situation unfolds, not just for the sake of Wootton's career, but for the potential implications it has for the way we interact with and perceive public figures. We must ask ourselves, what kind of society do we want to be? One that perpetuates negativity and judgment, or one that fosters understanding and respect? And trust me, we'll be watching. In the world of fame and notoriety, it seems that those who live in glass houses should not throw stones. A fitting adage, wouldn't you say? We've spent our time today dissecting the curious case of Dan Wootton, the critic who made a name for himself by launching relentless attacks on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Remember, this is a man who didn't hold back on his criticisms, calling them manipulative, attacking Meghan's character, and painting Harry as a traitor to the crown. All the while he preached about integrity and decency in the royal family. But now, the tables have turned. Wootton finds himself in the hot seat, facing serious allegations in the High Court. The same man who tore into Meghan for writing a children's book and dragged Harry for protecting his family is now accused of a disturbing manipulation of a former colleague. Quite the twist, isn't it? The spotlight that once focused on Harry and Meghan now shines on Wootton. As the saying goes, what goes around comes around. The critic who made a career out of shaming others now finds himself the subject of scrutiny. And so we conclude our journey into this story of hypocrisy and irony. It's a reminder that those who are quick to judge others should first ensure their own house is in order. Thank you for joining us today on Celebrity Scoop. Don't forget to subscribe for more intriguing stories from the world of fame and notoriety.